Hello everyone. Today we are solving again a new question on FSM. The question is design an FSM for the language W over the input alphabet 0, 1 and W starts with 0, has an odd length, or starts with 1, has even length. Means the strings will be accepted if the string length is odd and starting with 0, or the string length is even and starting with 1. So start solving. Our step 1 is theory. In this you have to write the FSM theory, what is finite state machine, the state function, the machine function, and the mathematical equation of FSM. Our step 2 is logic. Our input is 0, 1, here it is given, and our output is yes and no, means we have to accept or reject. I have told you Q is called as a finite set of states. Q0 starting state. In this type of sums we have to take 4 states, means starting state and again a 4 states. Why I am showing you this. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. See, Q1 is a state starting with 0 and has odd length. Now see, we have a 0, 1, odd and even. If we do this, we get 4 possibilities. Starting with 0 having odd length, starting with 0 having even length, starting with 1 having odd length, starting with 1 having even length. That's why we are taking Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. This is just the same, starting with 0 and even length. The same in this I am taking now starting with 1 and odd length. This state starting with 1 and even length. Now see, what is our question? W starts with 0 and has a odd length. State starting with 0 and has a odd length, we have to accept this. If the strings state come this, or we have to accept this. Starts with 1 and has a even length. So our final state will be Q1, Q4. Now step 3, implementation. I told you we have to create the state function table and machine function table. So I am making state function table. Q0 starting state, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. These are my final states. That's why I shown this with the star, 0 and 1. Here inputs. This is a symbol, here inputs. I am making here the machine function table. Same the 0, 1, Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Now first we will see the transition diagram. This will help us to build this table. Step 4, transition diagram. Our starting state Q0. This arrow must be shown, then only it is showing a starting state. Now see, Q1 state starting with 0 and has a odd length. Means if I write Q1 here, I have to do double circles. See, it must start with 0. Means if the first is starting with 0, I will pass it to this state. Means it is changing the state from Q0 to Q1. I have completed this. Now if it receives 1, then I will pass to a different state. If it is receiving 1, I am passing to different state. Okay, I am writing here one state. It is passing to this 1. Now see, what the question says. If starts with 0, must have an odd length. Okay, if this must contain an odd length, then I have to take this state Q2. In this, I have to make these transitions, and when it will receive 1, it must have an even length. So what I will do, I will create a state here Q4, which is our final state, and this will be a Q3. I have to this 0, 1, 0, 1. Now see why I have done this Q1 here, not and Q2 here, and Q3 and Q4 here. If we receive 0, there must be an odd length. A string can be this also, simple 0. Yes, it is in length of 1, means odd length, so it will be accepted here. If the string starts with 0 and if it is of even length, then I don't have to accept that. Means the FSM will not accept. If I write this 0, 1, it is of even length, Q0, 0 going here. If it receives 1 or 0 something, it will go here. Means starting with 0, but it is of even length. That's why in Q2 state, and Q2 is not our final state, so FSM will reject. The same applies for this condition also. If it starts with 1, it is of odd length. Means the question asks, if it starts with 1, the FSM must accept if the length is even. But if a string can also contain single 1, so if it starts with 1, then it is an odd length, then we do have to accept that. Then only, that's why I have put changing the state to Q3, not Q4 directly. Because if I pass to Q4, then what the condition becomes, starting with 1 and the odd length, then it will accept. That's become wrong. That's why I have passed to Q3 state. Now see, if I say 1, 0, 1, 0, yes, it is of length even, means 4, and starting with 1. Now see, 1, 0, 1, 0, yes, it will accept. If I take this 1, 1, 1 or 1, 0, 1 something, 1, 0, 1 means starting with 1, but because of even length, it will not accept. That's why it is going to Q3. Based on this, we will build our transition table, means state function table and machine function table. Q0 to 0, it is going to Q1. Q0 to 1, it is going to Q3. Q1 to 0, it is going to Q2. Same, Q1 receives 1, it is going to Q2. Q2 receives 0, 1, it is going to Q1. Q1, Q1. Final state I am marking the star. Now see, Q3 receiving 0 and 1 to Q4. Q4 receiving 0 and 1 Q3. Based on this, we will the machine function table. Machine function, where the final states we have to put the yes, else, no. Yes is will yes, it will also yes, and these are no. Now let's take an example. Q0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. I am taking this example. Now see, starting with 0. So what our question said, if it starts with 0, must have an odd length. So it is odd length 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it is an odd length, means it must accept. FSM must accept. Q0, it is going Q0, is going to Q1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Q1 is getting 1, is going to Q2. 0 1 1. Q2 is getting, so it is coming to again Q1 1 1. Again it will go to Q2 1 and it will Q1. Since our final answer is coming in Q1 state and Q1 is our final state, means we have to accept it. Okay, now I am it is of starting with 0 and odd length. Now I am showing another example of starting with 1 and has a even length 1 0 1 0 1 1 Q0. Okay, Q0 is getting 1, go to Q3 0 1 0 1 1. Q3 is getting 0, going to Q4 0. Wait, I am showing Q4 0. No, this is not 0. It will be 1 0 1 1. Q4 is getting 1, is going to Q3 0 1 1. Q3 is again getting 0, it will go to Q4 1 1. Again it will be Q3, that's why it is getting 1. Q3 is getting 1, it is going to Q4. Now see, starting with 1 and has an even length, that's why it is accepting. Since Q4 is our final state, means we have to accept. In similar way, you can solve another example of starting with 1 has an odd length. In that you will get a state which is not a final state, non-final state, that will reject, means FSM will reject. In this way you can solve this example.